Hey, media, we'll get started here with Don Sweeney in just a minute. If you want to get in the queue to ask Don a question, please hit the raise hand button now. We'll start with Matt Porter.
Hey, Don. Two here, if I might. One, how ready do you think Fabian Lysell is for the North American pro game? Is that a 1 year, 2 year thing if he keeps going the way he is right now?
Well, Matt, obviously it's difficult to put a direct timeline. You don't want to rush anybody's development. He has a certain skill set that was certainly attractive to us, a passion and a drive for the game. Adapting to North American style and the smaller rinks when he decides to come over is something we're going to have discussions with he and his representatives. But we are excited about what Fabian brings, and again, his passion and skill combination was unique for us to identify.
And then the online scouting community gets very detailed with these kids, right? There's a lot more information out there than I think in the past. You have game reports, you have all kinds of stuff out there about these kids that are at the top of the draft. One of the things that came up tonight was character concerns with Fabian Lysell. Do you yourself have any character concerns about Fabian?
No, I mean, obviously we have a player that played a long time with the Boston Bruins, and PJ Axelsson, that's in Sweden. Was in the hometown of where Fabian had originally played before he went to Luleå. There's growing up to be done for all young men and women, and Fabian's no different in that regard. He's made some real steps. We challenged him in all the interview process in terms of how his maturity and such was progressing, and felt satisfied that again, he's made a lot of strides from growing into a young man and beyond. So we're aware of the challenges that he's presented in certain situations that he might not have handled as well as he could. He's grown from it, and he'll be a better person overall from it.
Thank you.
We'll go to Kirk.
Hey, Don, congratulations on the pick. Every indication is you got a value player that probably, based on his talent, should not maybe have been there. But so would you agree with that? And B, when you look at the things he can do, how do you see him fitting into the organization going forward?
Well, thanks, Kirk. I think we do identify with the skill and the game-breaking ability. He's got speed. He can both play, make, and shoot the puck. Going down and watching him live at the U18s, you saw the pockets of his high-end ability. And again, now there's details and things that all young players have to learn and simulate with again, the North American style. But he has attributes that I think we identified that the Boston Bruins need, and as much of as we possibly can. Scoring and skill is a premium, and it's hard to find. And Fabian has a lot of those attributes.
Again, congratulations.
Thanks, Kurt.
Kevin Dupont.
Two, if I could, Don. The first is the three high-end defensemen that got moved today. What's your general takeaway there, and were you in on any of that?
My take is that some good players have changed teams and are going to affect those teams in a positive manner. I would certainly suspect there was a lot of player movement today. Kevin, you know me well enough. I hope that I know what players are available and to have those types of conversations. Obviously, we did not make any of those moves, and there's work for us to be done. But we're going to continue to grind away at it and get to the point where we need to.
And in terms of Lysell, can you remember? I'm sure you can. When did he first get on your radar, and what got him there, and what made you stay with him, if you will?
Yeah, I mean, this has been a long process and a unique one this year. Some challenges associated with with a lack of overall, where your scouting staffs would see some of these kids in different forums. But we've seen this player for well over 2 years. Again, he started out in the hometown where PJ was, had familiarity there, moved on to Lilia, certainly at the national programs. So we've really followed his trajectory. Obviously, when you play in the SHL, the young player, you're not necessarily given primary roles. You might not have the same offensive output that you will. So you really pay attention when he goes and plays against his peers, and can he dominate games or at least be a game breaker? And I think he showed moments of that skill set as well. And he's got a lot of work to do in terms of rounding out his overall game. But he just has the speed, he has skill, he has be able to shoot the puck past the goaltender, and again, some game breaking ability that was hard for us to pass on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Emily Benjamin.
Hey, Don, I just wanted to check in on Taylor Hall and what are your thoughts on getting this done and maybe what he can do now with a full season and 3 more beyond that for you guys.
Yeah, very excited. As I referenced that, Taylor wanting to be a Bruin and working with Darren Ferris to find a common ground was really important for us. And I think you can see from Taylor's comments, he's excited to be part of our group. I think he felt maybe the most comfortable he's felt in a locker room in some time, and I think it showed up in his game. He arrived in Boston with not as much confidence as he had in previous, despite being such an accomplished player. And I think now he's really wanting to put his feet down, settle some roots with he and his fiance to really take it as far as he possibly can. He's motivated. He knows the team and what we're trying to accomplish, and he wanted to be part of that. And I think that's important to send a message to all of our young players as well as our incumbent players that represent the core of the Boston Bruins. And Taylor Hall, the special qualities he has, wanting to be a part of that core was important. And so we're excited to have him back.
Jimmy Murphy.
Hey, Don, how are you?
Fine, Jimmy. How are you?
Good. Just, I asked Lysell about this too, but from a team's perspective, what has this been like for you guys, given all the COVID restrictions and maybe less in-person scouting? I know you said you had PJ there, so that was an advantage, but overall, just scouting the first round, what's that been like?
Yeah, again, a lot of unique challenges associated with, normally you have crossover scouts that are going to have a much wider array of viewings, and we were fortunate to have 3 people based in Sweden and be able to get to live viewing. So we have a deeper book, and then the rest of it, the guys are filling in with as much video from over a course of really 2.5 years. And then we were fortunate to get to the U18. So we definitely had a really good book on Fabian as well as other players in the first round. But you knew there was going to be a little bit of that, as I referenced earlier, variance that might come into play with such a unique year and the challenges that we were all faced with.
Because of that, did you find there to be more conversation in terms of moving up and down amongst GMs?
Yeah, it really heated up in the middle of the round there, where teams were starting to jockey, and we were part of it in some circumstances. But ended up when the player that we wanted was there, we were comfortable making that pick and excited to.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Don, and thank you, media, for joining us. We'll send out a transcript as well as a WeTransfer link for the recording later this evening. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thanks, everybody. I know it's late. Appreciate it.